Hey guys, thanks for tuning into the channel today. Now we've got something new to add to the truck. Now I don't often get sent product for review, but Auxbeam actually reached out to me and wanted to send me a set of their 7-inch 360 Pro lights. Now these come in right around $309, which is pretty good for a pair of lights. Now, I haven't tested them yet, so I don't know exactly how bright they are, but we're definitely gonna get into that. I have a light meter. I'm gonna be testing some of the claims on the box to see if what they claim is actually true. I'm also gonna be testing what's on the truck currently, which is just a cheap light bar off Amazon, to see what that does and how this compares. Now, I did tell Auxbeam that I was gonna be totally honest and true with this review. Even though they sent me this product for free, it's my promise to you guys that I'm going to be unbiased on this review and just give you the straight facts and what I think about the product. And then we'll get out and test it and see how it does. And then hopefully I can circle back here probably in 6 months once we get through winter and once I've used them a bit more, and kind of circle back and bring you guys up to speed on how they're doing, if there's any moisture that's gotten in the lens or any issues that I've had with them. But the only step now is to wait for it to get dark outside, and then we're going to get a baseline with what's on the truck first, and then probably tomorrow we'll install these and then take them out tomorrow night and see how these perform. They also came with a set of amber lenses as well, and I've kind of been looking at getting some round lights for the truck, maybe some Baja Designs or something like that, or Rigid Industries. Their round lights. There's kind of a lot of options out there, but I do like the round light look on these older Tacomas, so I'm curious to see how this looks on the truck and excited to get them on. But enough rambling, why don't we go ahead and open the box and see what these things look like. Alright, so we got the box here. A couple little tidbits here right on the box. Now it says 1 lux at 816 meters. We're not going to be testing out that far because A, I'm not going to walk that far. B, not really important to test down that low. 1666 lumens. I don't have something to measure lumens. We're just going to be checking out lux on this. And then here's their chart that they provide. So what we're going to be focusing on is the 10 lux figure and measuring out to about 250 meters. Alright, so here's one of the lights. I mean, it feels pretty sturdy and construction wise looks pretty dang good. I also like that there's no pigtail coming out of the back. It's an actual connector. I'm not sure if this is a standard connector. I'll have to look. If I sort that out, I'll put it up on the screen. And then we got a vent back here. The hardware, the mounting, all pretty burly. I'll tell you one thing I don't like though is the yellow. Don't really care much for that. And then something else I noticed, you probably won't be able to see it on the camera, but there's a little haze on the inside of the lens, like it wasn't cleaned, like perfectly clean. And I already noticed some scratches on here, and this seems like it's pretty easy to scuff. So long-term durability on this might be in question, but you can see it's got an array of LEDs on the outside, and then it's got one focused LED in the middle, kind of like the spot. That's what gives you the long distance. And it came with these covers that just, let's see if I can do this here one-handed, maybe. Oh, I don't know. No, I can't do it one-handed, but they just clip on. So that'll give a little bit of protection for that. I'm curious to see how that looks. And then we have the wiring harness here, which is actually looks pretty decent. I would swap out this, cheap little rocker switch here, but nice, waterproof connectors there for the back of the lights. The whole, harness here is nice and has this protective, I guess, sheath on it. And then we have a 40 amp relay here that's actually like sealed and looks pretty decent for a relay, you know, on one of these kind of just typically these harnesses are pretty cheap, but this looks pretty decent. So I've had issues with cheap relays in the past, letting water in and getting corroded and stuff. Even, you know, obviously mounted properly. So we'll see. But yeah, and it also comes with some pretty burly looking hardware here, and some rubber mounts that go between the light and your bumper or whatever surface you're mounting it on. So yeah, I mean, it all looks pretty good. Is it worth $300? Well, I guess we'll see once we get to the performance, but at least the fit and finish is decent. There's nothing to really complain about. Only thing in question is this element and how, you know, long-term durability on the I don't know if you call it glass, but the lens, yeah, the lens of the light. Alright, I'm sitting here on the side of the road. I have a nice long stretch in front of me that I can walk out and pace out some distance. Now, this is low beams. This is high beams. High beams off. And front light on the brush guard there. The little light bar. I am at 1/50th of a second, f2.8, and ISO 2000. So just make sure we keep all the settings the same between now and the next time that we come out here. But I'm gonna sit here and pace. I'm gonna get out and I'm gonna take the light meter. I'm basically gonna walk until we hit 10 lux on the light meter, which I have a feeling is probably not going to take all that long with this light bar. Okay, so you can just see on these ones we're here right at pretty much 10 lux, and we aren't that far away from the truck. So yeah, these this light bar is not that great. Once I'm gonna open my GPS app and walk back to the truck, and we'll see what distance this is. Okay, now according to my phone, 156 feet is how far we got out to for 10 lux. So not that far. Now I'm going to turn my high beams on. I'm going to walk out there again, and yeah, we'll see how much further we can get. I think the high beams are going to be quite a bit better. Alright, and here's the high beams. Quite a bit further. Yeah, these put out some pretty good light. So once again, turn on the GPS, we'll measure the distance back to the truck. Alright, so you can really see down here, oops, at the bottom, high beams were over twice the distance of this cheap light bar. And that's, I mean, super easy to tell when you're looking outside at, looking out the windshield at the light bar versus the high beams. Big difference there. So yeah, I'm also kind of skeptical that we're going to get to 800 something feet and 10 lux on these Auxbeam lights, but hey, I guess we'll find out. Alright, it's the next day now. We're going to go ahead and get this light bar off here. This is just a cheapo Nightlight bar from Amazon. It was actually given to me by my buddy Eric. So we're going to get this off of here and get the new lights on. So I just have them mocked up. They're just kind of sitting there, and I have to say, it looks pretty good. The yellow kills me. I hate the yellow, so I might take some black vinyl and black out those portions of it. But I do love the round light look, and it kind of matches my headlights with the projectors that are in there. Let's pop the amber lenses on and see how that looks. Alright, there it is with the amber lenses. Looks pretty awesome. I just am a fan of the amber lens look, and I'm excited to actually try these out here in the dust and the snow this winter, see how they do. But yeah, I think this is going to look pretty sweet. Alright, so the lights are installed. That was not too bad. Didn't take me any more than about 40 minutes. I had to remove the old harness and route the wire inside and all that stuff. The new harness, yeah, like I said, seems like it's pretty decent quality. You know, time will tell on that one. But everything works. We're all mounted up, nice and sturdy. The hardware that mounts these lights to the bumper is nice and real thick and sturdy, so shouldn't have any problems there. And now we just gotta wait for it to get dark and we can go out and test them. Alright, so now that the lights are installed, we are back in the exact same spot as we were last night. Camera settings are the same. So again, this is low beams. That is high beams right there. And then we're gonna turn the high beams off. Now, this is the new lights. Quite a big difference. We can see quite a ways down there. In fact, my high beams, you can't even, I mean, you can tell kind of in the periphery, but as far as distance, you can't hardly even tell that they're on. So yeah, these are significantly brighter, and this is with the yellow lenses on them. All right, just took the amber lenses off. So here they are. Got some throw on these babies. All right, so I'm not sure if you can see it way out there, but there is a milepost marker, and that is 0.15 miles away. So somewhere around 800-ish feet, which is what the 10 lux measurement was on these lights. So we're gonna go ahead and walk out there, see what the lux is when we get there. Wow, okay. Whew, we're at 18 lux all the way out here. Sorry if you can't see that. I'm gonna measure and get back to the truck. All right, so there's that marker. 0.15 miles. So I just drove up here from where I was parked. So if we look at the little conversion here, 0.15 miles gets us to 241 meters. Now if we look at the picture here, I don't know if you guys can see this, but 10 lux is this yellow, and that's right around 275 meters-ish. So I was only another 20 meters away and we were at 18 lux. So I have no doubt that these are hitting that rating. Freaking bright. Alright, so I pulled up to this spot out in the woods. Wanted to show you guys some kind of performance and what it looks like when there's a little bit more stuff surrounding the vehicle. You're not necessarily on the road, but this is my low beams. The cutoff is very abrupt because I'm running projectors, and notice no real peripheral, performance, not much visibility there. Turn on the high beams, a little bit better. I've got some distance you can see down there at those trees. Still not super great though. So we'll turn on the Auxbeam lights. I'm leaving my high beams on just so you can see their performance over the high beams, which are actually pretty good on this. And those are on. So these are, pretty focused spot lights, and they actually have some pretty decent performance, like as far as peripheral vision goes. So spread is pretty good, but not as good as something that has a bit more of a flood lens on the inside and reflectors. So these are definitely more spot and more distance oriented. Here's just driving down the road. Pretty good visibility from these. These things also just light up street signs like Christmas lights. Alright, so that's what those lights look like at night and in a few different settings. I am pretty dang impressed with these lights and their output, and just how bright they were. I didn't really have any expectations going in other than I was expecting these to not be as bright as they actually are. I saw the ratings on the side of the box, and I was expecting that to be a little bit overstated. And I'm happy to report that, you know, at least out to 10 lux, what Auxbeam states on the box as far as, you know, ability to throw light is accurate, and I was definitely pleasantly surprised with that. You know, at this price point, I think you're getting a lot of performance for your dollar. You know, these are run right around 300 bucks depending on where you look. I just looked this morning on Amazon and saw them for 280 bucks for the 7-inch versions, which is what I have. And yeah, I think you're getting quite a lot for that amount of money, especially considering from other brands you can pay, you know, that much or more for a singular light. You know, if I didn't buy these myself, they were sent to me, but if I had spent my own money on these lights and got them and installed them and, you know, went out and saw the results that I saw, I'd be really happy with what I got for my money. I think that probably gets, you know, a little bit more difficult to achieve as you start spending more money on lights. I could see spending, you know, $800 on a brand like Baja Designs and maybe not being as happy with my investment, depending on their performance. Now I know, you know, they certainly have the warranty and customer support. That's something that I can't really comment on as far as Auxbeam is concerned, because I haven't had to reach out to them or try and get a hold of them. I'm expecting that they will probably be lacking in that area. You know, you gotta give something to hit a certain price point, and so whether that's product quality or after purchase support, I'm not sure exactly where things are going to come into play yet, but my initial impressions are very good on these lights. Now on the side of quality, when I unboxed these, you know, everything looked really good. The lights and the construction, I mean, they look sturdy. Looks like they were put together well. Looks like Auxbeam has a good, you know, quality assurance or you know, checklist area of their production facility to make sure that things look good when they come off the production line. All of the LEDs inside the light are centered within the elements. That's something that is often hit or miss on cheaper lights, is you'll find that maybe the reflector inside is off center, or, you know, just not where it should be, and that impacts performance. So happy to see that that's not a problem on these lights. The biggest issue that I did see out of the box was the front element, and whatever material it's made out of seems to be soft. I was able to put some marks in it with my fingernail, and that's probably going to be problematic if you're not keeping a protective cover on the lights or running like the amber lenses like I am. You're probably going to find that they're going to get scratched up pretty easily, and that, yeah, that's a problem. That's not something that you want to see. So hopefully Auxbeam, if you're watching this, you guys can address that and put a harder or higher quality lens on these lights, because that seems to be the biggest shortcoming so far, at least what I can see in my limited time with these lights. Other than that, everything else looks very good. The mounting hardware is super sturdy and beefy. We'll see how the coatings on the fasteners hold up over time, whether they're, you know, quality coatings or not. Only time will tell on that to see how fast they start rusting, if they do at all. That's often an area that brands will cheap out on it. You know, quality hardware is expensive, and, you know, it's a cost-saving measure to choose something that's got maybe a poor or less durable coating on it. So time will tell there. The wiring harness, I think, is very, you know, looks like a very high quality harness. I like that the fact that there's connectors on the backs of the lights, and they're not just kind of a hardwired pigtail coming out of them where you've got to kind of cut and splice, or, you know, use some cheap blade connectors or anything like that. These look like these will be pretty good and waterproof. I did put some dielectric grease in them just to keep them from corroding if any moisture does get in there, and just help waterproof things a little bit better. The relay also looks like it is quality as well. Another area where brands will cheap out on is these relays. You'll find that you know, cheaper relays can get water moisture in them, things like that, and start to rust or corrode, and then eventually they'll fail. So again, time will tell on that. I definitely want to circle back here in 6 months to a year and do a follow-up on these lights and yeah, just see if anything else is kind of shown up in terms of quality or any issues like that. You know, give the hardware some time to be exposed to the elements, give the lens some time to be exposed to the elements, and the you know, black external powder coating or whatever coating is on these lights, and just see how all of this stuff holds up over time, and also just kind of update you guys based on, you know, getting to use these more in the real world, and see if any of my initial thoughts or opinions on these change. But so far, pretty dang stoked on these lights. The performance is awesome. It's exactly what I was looking for in lights anyways, and what I was already shopping. I wanted a spotlight that had some good distance for it, and I also wanted those round lights, and these definitely check that box. So I thank Auxbeam for sending these lights out to me to review, and kind of like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, you know, they're not paying me to say anything nice, and I was right up front with them about these lights, saying you know, that if they did send me something, I was going to review it fairly and give my honest opinions. And yeah, that's all I've given during this review so far. It's just my honest opinions and my findings on these lights. So yeah, if you're on the fence about buying them, what I would say is, you know, at $300, you're probably going to be pretty happy with what you're getting out of the box. But these haven't been out for very long, and so long-term durability is still in question. So you can either wait a few months, you know, wait 6 months or so until maybe I put out another video, or you can go ahead and just kind of take the gamble and buy them. I think at this price point compared to what else is out there, it's not a lot of upfront investment, and that is kind of just the gamble you take when buying these cheaper products. Is, yeah, quality can be, or at least like long-term durability can kind of be an unknown. But yeah, so far so good. Let me know if you guys have any questions or comments or anything like that. Let me know what you guys might want to see in maybe an update video down the road. But otherwise, hope you guys found this video informative, and if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. And yeah, until then, I'll catch you guys in the next video.